Welcome back to my channel, mother suckers. Hey, Young, Famous, and African dropped a few weeks ago, and we are gathered here today to review this season 3 of Young, Famous, and African. Let me let you guys know up front, there will be spoilers. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna try to keep this review short and sweet, but baby, we getting into the nooks and crannies in season 3, okay? So we have some new faces this season. One of Nollywood's most prominent stars, Eni Edo, a Nigerian actress, producer, and entrepreneur, joined this season. She's obviously one of Swanky's dolls this season. I mean, the fashions is given styled by Swanky. Kefilwe was also brought into the show by Swanky. Are y'all cutting Swanky a casting check? Because it looks like when y'all need girls, y'all hit up Swanky. But anyways, Kefilwe is a renowned fashion influencer, fashion and travel influencer. And then we have Shakib, Mr. I Ain't Playing With None of Y'all, Zari's husband. And then of course we have the OGs and the people that joined us in season 2. But one thing I noticed was Andele was missing. Where is Andele? Now, before I get into the plot, I just want to quickly hand out some awards. We got Best Dressed Male, Best Dressed Female, Best Wig, Best Storyline, Best Overall Character, Most Improved from last season, Least Improved, and Worst Wig. Best Dressed Male, of course, Swanky. Best Dressed Woman is going to Eni for me. Best Wig goes to Kefilwe. I mean, and that makes sense because she is a beauty influencer. Honey, she had access to the best, most laid laces, okay? But let me just say this. Overall, the wigs have gotten better. I told y'all season 1 review. I said the wigs will get better with time, okay? We still got a ways to go, but they've gotten better. Best clapback definitely goes to Nadia. Whew, this scene gave me chills. Most improved goes to Luish, and least improved goes to Diamond and Fontana. Worst wig, Annie, you know. So the season begins as Zari and Shakib's wedding. Of course, the full cast is invited and they all show up. Now, it's awkward for Fontana and Annie because they had the most beef with Zari last season. It was also awkward because Annie and Swanky had beef from last season and this was their first time meeting up. Annie was talking shit about Zari's wedding from beginning to end, from the decorations to the son to the husband's age, which I really didn't appreciate because she made a point to say that she was really hurt, right? That her children were affected or that her children were mentioned in her beef with Swanky. But here she is talking about Zari's children and making shady references to their ages as well as Shakib's age. And then had the nerve to go up there and make a speech. Now, I still don't even, what was the speech about? What was the speech for? Messy. So we meet Zari's husband, Shakib. He sits down with DJ Naked and he asks him questions about Zari's baby daddy, Diamond. From what I read online, Shakib is definitely one of the fan favorites this season. I personally like his demeanor, but his whole storyline was trying to figure out what's going on with Diamond and Zari. Now this may just be me, but you supposed to do all that before you marry. You got to figure out what's going on with baby daddy and what's this, what's that before you say I do. They did it after, okay? And I hated seeing them as newlyweds going back and forth about Diamond and his Diamond being inappropriate and them making comments about surrogacy and check the messages in the phone. I'm like, ugh, make this go away. Y'all stressing Shakib out, honey. And Diamond was definitely playing into it. Diamond don't want to see Zari happy for real. Also, I did enjoy the friendship between Luish and Shakib. I mean, come on, Luish needs a friend. And I really liked that Shakib was honest, direct, and respectful with Luish during his, surrogacy meeting. We'll get into that later. Ooh, Annie and Nadia this season. Honey, I didn't know Nadia was that spicy. Fire. I think one thing Annie regrets the most this season is trying Nadia. At Zari's wedding, Annie called Nadia a witch, a bitch, everything but a child of God. Nadia said, all right, I'm gonna keep it cute because we had a wedding. But for the rest of this season, Annie knew no peace when she was in the same room with Nadia for the rest of the season. And so we dive into Nadia's storyline this season and we find out that her boyfriend actually died. And so we're watching her through her grieving process. She was very vulnerable, very honest about where she is in her grieving process. And we get a surprise visit from Kanye. I really enjoyed this sister scene between these two women. I feel like a lot of Young, Famous, and African is heavily produced, but this was one of those raw, real, and vulnerable scenes. We also find out that Kanye suffered from burnout. They didn't go into detail, but I think it has something to do with the previous season and the conversation around her daughter and maybe just some other personal things going on. So we didn't see a lot of Kanye. I think she graced the screen maybe 2 or 3 times. Girl, we gonna need you back. Like I said in the beginning, this scene with Nadia, first of all, this look ate down. Like one of my favorite looks on Nadia. But she literally gave me chills when she said, you know, we're making excuses for Annie and saying what she's going through. She said, babes, I'm going through the most, but I don't walk in destruction. I don't hurt people. And Nadia is a perfect example of the strong friend, going through the most, dying inside, but will put on a smile, pretend everything is okay, treat everyone with kindness and respect as if their own internal world isn't falling apart. She is the epitome of check on your strong friends. And so DJ Naked goes to check on her, apologizes to her. And DJ Naked is kind of like the Andile of last season. He's kind of like the confidant for the women, you know, listening to them, giving them that brotherly love and advice. But what's going on with DJ Naked and Kaylee? When he said in the beginning, oh, Kaylee and I live together. I'm like, wasn't y'all living together since season 1? Like, what's the update? Like, you're not doing this to that girl. And I love that Auntie Annie pulled up and said, stop this nonsense. Stop it. Child, I think the producers told Annie to ask about their situation because they would have slid under the radar. Kaylee wouldn't have stirred nothing up. They would have slid under the radar. Boyfriend and girlfriend, no real storyline, giving nothing, I'm bored. They told Annie ask about their relationship because they knew Annie wasn't going to have that. Because what were the odds that Kaylee was going to get her ring by the end of the season? If it wasn't for that pressure, would she have gotten the ring by the end of the season? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think Naked really wants to get remarried. I think he's traumatized. And I think he should just be honest and find someone else who's also traumatized by marriage and who doesn't want to get married and who just wants to be committed, you know, non-contractual life partners. And hold on, didn't he propose to her last season? I can't really remember. Y'all remind me. I know he gave her the key to the crib last season, so I know they wasn't about to make that a storyline again. Like, no. But I'm trying to remember, didn't they go up to the mountain and he proposed to her, or was it a fake ring? Y'all let me know down in the comment section. I can't remember and I ain't going back to check. All right, so let's move to Diamond and Fontana. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. There is nothing that anyone can say nor do that will convince Fontana that Diamond ain't shit and he really playing her. Leave her alone. Let her feel like she big pimping. Fontana thinks she's big pimping, but she's getting pimped.
What's this?
Now, let me say, I loved when Fontana gagged him a bit. Like, she pulled up acting like she was really about it. She gagged him. She said, what if I said you're average? What if I said these things about you? Like, I'm just tricking on you. I'm just using you. What if I said those things about you? Diamond was gagged. Ooh, Diamond had to get up and leave, child. He couldn't handle it. But then in the next episode, she was all teeth and smiles and, you know, I'm pretending that this and I'm pretending that that. And I'm like, Fontana. I wish she would have stuck to her guns on the point of, okay, you can smash who you want. I can smash who I want. But be respectful about it. I wish she would have really stuck to that point. Like, don't just go around saying, oh, we're just smashing. We're just smashing. Like, nigga, it's a respectful way to say we just smashing. Like, we just mess around. How about that? We're just having fun. How about that? How about it's really nobody else's business, so you don't got to say nothing. But the nigga just be like, oh, we just smashing. We just smash. We just smashing. Like, damn. And it's like, even though Fontana knows that he's obviously dealing and messing with other women, she still like, you could tell she still feels a way about that, because she's like, you're making me look stupid to our friends, and our friends that keep telling me, like, Diamond, like, you have a girlfriend, like, our friends keep telling me that. Yeah, he does. He has many. And really, it doesn't take a rocket science. Like, Diamond does not hide it. That's one thing I will respect about Diamond, is he doesn't hide it. He will say it in the confessionals. He knows you're going to watch the show. He'll post him and different women on social media. He knows you're going to see it. It's like, he doesn't lie. He doesn't hide. But it's really the money, the fame, the power, the respect that keeps Fontana coming around, because Fontana would not put up with this from Luish. Actually makes the point of, a lot of women prefer the man, that the bad boy that will disrespect them, that won't take them serious, when they have a option of the good guy. I didn't like the storyline of her possibly being pregnant. I'm like, first of all, I didn't believe it from jump. I'm like, Fontana, you're not pregnant with Diamond's baby. If you were really pregnant with Diamond's baby, you wouldn't be laughing and kikiing the way you are. No, absolutely not. Y'all, she takes the pregnancy test. It's negative, and he sucks his teeth. Like, he's upset. He is upset that this woman, who he only smashes when young, famous, and African, whom he doesn't know her family, he doesn't want to know her family, he's upset that she's not pregnant. Like, niggas really be mad when they can't ruin your life. That's all I see here. But at the end, he's like, I'm gonna gag everybody. He's like, I'm gonna show everybody for trying to put a wedge between me and Fontana, for trying to put some sense in Fontana's brain, for trying to set me up. I'm gonna show you that I'm always gonna get the girl. And he was right. He was right. Kefilwe was gagged. Any was gagged. Swanky. Everybody was gagged. And in the end, Diamond walks away with the girl. Like, leave Diamond alone, y'all. Leave these two alone. And I think everybody knows that couple. You know, you try to give your friend advice like, girl, that nigga ain't shit. That nigga da-da-da-da-da. But really, you got to get to a point where you just mind your business. I hope season 4, nobody say nothing about that relationship. Nothing. Drop another rich nigga in the mix, and Fontana gonna find her way over there. Don't say nothing about her and Diamond, because the more you say, the more she's going to stay. Listen, Luish said he is not taking shit this season, and he meant it. Luish stood on business. He gagged Fontana when he was like, okay, name 3 songs. DJ Naked, name 3 of Fontana's songs. She's talking about some, of course, he knows 3 songs. He brought me to South Africa. And Naked is like, does she have 3 songs? Bro, I've never heard any of Fontana's music. But I love the way Luish gagged her, because she stayed trying to shit on Luish. Like, no. He said, not this season. Maybe last season, but not this season. She did end up apologizing during the disco scene. I really like this scene. It was one of the few moments where everyone was really genuinely happy, laughing, having a good time, and trying something new. Only Fontana and Kaylee knew how to skate. You know, Africans don't be doing stuff like that. And I like that they paid homage to the disco era. I think as much as the fans and viewers love the drama, we also want to see like Black unity. Like, we like that too. I enjoyed the scene with Luish talking to his girl cousins, and them talking about, you know, the family misses you, and just talking about the family. And it almost seemed like he actually has an option to come back home. I'm not sure the details on that, but it kind of sounded like they were saying, like, you know, they want you to come back. And he said that he would have to make a decision, because he would have to give up his current life and his current happiness. So I again, we want to know more personal stories about these people. Like, we want to see them with their families, right, doing normal everyday things. I love the fashions, I love the glitz and the glamour, but I really want to see the human side of them as well, not just events and link ups. Yeah, we could do that, but that's why y'all need 20 episodes, because I want to get into everybody's story, see why you are the way you are. I want to see you on the phone with your mom. I want to see you, you know, going to work and at the office. I want to see what's up. Like, Zari, I want to see you at home with your man, with the kids. What does that dynamic look like? We need 20 episodes. We need 20 plus episodes. 8 episodes is crazy. So after Ini Edo shared her surrogacy story, Luish really felt connected to this woman. I mean, he brought the whole surrogacy thing last season, and everybody was looking at him like he was crazy. But now he finally has someone who went through the process, and someone he felt like he could relate to. So Luish had this idea to bring some women together and basically vet them to see who he wanted to be his surrogate. And so he invited Shakib, and he invited Ini Edo. You could tell these are probably the two that he felt the closest to and people who would give him good advice during this process. But child, she just felt so disrespected by this whole thing. She said that she was not comfortable with this and she doesn't feel comfortable. She basically felt like it was like degrading or objectifying women. And from her perspective, she got a surrogacy out of a last resort. So from her perspective, it wasn't something that she wanted to do, but something she felt like she had to do because she couldn't carry children full term. From her perspective, Luish doesn't have to do this. Like, she feels like Luish can just date a girl, find a woman, date her, marry her, and have children. Like, there's no fertility issues with Luish that we know of, right? And so she's looking at this like, you don't have to do this. So it's kind of like, are you just objectifying and kind of like making a mockery out of this? Like, this is not a joke. This is not a game. This is something that was actually a really difficult situation and experience for her. And she felt like he was making light of it. Meanwhile, for Luish, this is actually a big deal for him. I don't know if she saw the previous season, but this is a big deal for him. Like, this man has been isolated from his whole family. And we also find out that he also wants the baby to kind of be like that middle ground. Like, hey, I have a baby, take me back, love me, love the baby. Which, sidebar, we don't know if that's gonna work. So I would say don't just have a baby just to get your family back, child, because they could abandon you and the baby. I'm just saying. We seen Wendy and Eddie Osefo from Real Housewives of Potomac, right? The grandparents, after they disowned the kid, they said, we disowning you and the grand. So just keep that in mind. You don't have a baby for other people. You have a baby because you want it. But moving on. Shakib is trying to explain to Annie what's going on. Annie's still like, bruh, no. Luish gets impatient. He's like, okay, you know what? Like, cool. If this is not your thing, you can leave. And Annie, superstar Annie Eddo, who you talking to? Like, oh. And that's where I feel like Luish went wrong. Like, just dismissing her, being like, listen, you can go. Like, I have other ladies here. I got to get this done. You could leave. Like, whoa, like, apology. And it was nice to see that he did end up taking Annie's advice and really just finding someone that he likes, dating her, getting to know her, and who knows what the future would hold. But I think he should try to just have a family. I think he should try, because a child is one thing, but to have a wife who can also help you, build a legacy and a family together, I think that would be more beneficial for him. Now, damn near everybody noticed that something was really wrong with Annie this season. You could tell she was really fidgety or jittery. She was exploding on everyone this season. I think DJ Naked was like her only friend this season. So she mentioned that she miscarried, that she was pregnant with twins and she miscarried. And you can tell that really took a toll on her. But before she gets into that, right off the bat, Annie letting us know, I don't trust Swanky. Swanky's not a good person. What seemed to happen? And I'm confused because last season, y'all apologized. I'm thinking from then till now, y'all had time to chill in Nigeria, hang out, make things right. Nah, Annie is still upset. But then the camera goes to Swanky. Swanky good. Swanky chilling. Swanky like, listen, I've been in therapy. I've been chilling. But every time I turn around, Annie is somewhere meeting with somebody talking about Swanky. Talking about the voice notes. She was barking on Annie. Annie just trying to figure this out. She wilding on Annie. Wilding on Fontana. Fontana confused. And speaking of her wilding on Annie, this is going to be really interesting to see these two in the future. Same town, same village, same career. We'll see, child. I actually thought Annie was Annie's replacement. I thought Annie was done with the show, done with the season. Once Two-Face was like, listen, fuck that show, come home. I'm like, oh, shit. By the very last episode at Swanky's event, we find out that they made up. And I'm hoping this is a real makeup, okay? Not a makeup like season 2 and then come season 4, we got Annie shaking and baking talking about where are the voice notes? Where are the voice notes? I don't want to hear not another word about a voice note, Annie. Let's move on. Let's move forward. So Kefilwe gets up saying that she wants to give a speech, and Swinky is like, go ahead, this event is for everyone, not just me. And she immediately starts throwing shade at Zari, and Zari is catching the shade. So before this event, Kefilwe met up with Nadia and Inni to catch up, and so they were explaining how Kefilwe was trending on, I think, like South Africa Twitter. She was trending #1 because people were saying that her marriage was fake and that her marriage was just for social media. Now, Zari also mentioned something like this when they went on a safari. Zari was kind of like relating to Kefilwe, saying like, I know a marriage that's hard to get out of and it's a lot of drama and the guy is a narcissist. But then she kind of just made it awkward and started throwing shade at Kefilwe. And honestly, Zari and Kefilwe, I knew it was never going to work. I knew it was never going to happen because when Kefilwe first came on the show, she walked through the reception floor of Zari's wedding. And I knew Zari was going to hold on to that the same way Annie was going to hold on to the voice notes. But Kefilwe, I like her. She's like, listen, I might be quiet. I might be confused sometimes when y'all going at it. But baby, don't play with me. So after she gave her speech and sat down, of course, Zari stands up and gives her speech. Child, Zari started Zariing. Y'all know how she do. One thing led to another and it was splish splash, baby. He was trying to get the drink out of Kefilwe's hand. Shakib jumped up like Spider-Man, ran over there. Zari got splashed a little bit, but she really was kind of unbothered. Shakib has excellent hand-eye coordination. Honestly, he gives me sniper vibe. That was the definition of, I don't have to do much. My man is here. Ain't nothing about to happen to me. My man is here. But I feel where Kefilwe is coming from. Like, she came on the show being vulnerable, and Zari really, but y'all know how Zari do. Zari gonna pick and pick and pick and pick, and she even said it, like, I like seeing people jump. Yeah, somebody gonna jump on you. Ooh, well, y'all, that pretty much sums up season 3 of Young, Famous, and African. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. How did you feel about these 8 episodes? Let me know who has the best storyline for you. Let's really get into it. The more we discuss the show, the more popular it gets and the more episodes. Okay, we need more episodes. Hello, we need 20 episodes minimum. I really want to hear y'all thoughts on Diamond and Fontana, Kaylee and DJ Naked, Swanky and Annie, Zari and Shakib, and really the whole cast. Let me know your thoughts. Who are some of your favorite characters? Who are some of your least favorite characters? What's something that you're looking forward to next season? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Later.